In the realm of British politics, Kier Starmer finds himself balancing precariously on a tightrope strung between the expectations of his party and the harsh realities of governance. His recent actions, particularly surrounding key issues like Brexit and housing, have not only left him vulnerable but have also exposed a fundamental flaw in his leadership, a lack of decisiveness and conviction. The question begs to be asked, how did Starmer, once a beacon of hope for the Labour Party, descend into this quagmire of inconsistencies and broken promises? Let's start with the elephant in the room, Brexit. Starmer initially positioned himself as a staunch advocate for making Brexit work, pledging to respect the referendum's outcome. Yet, in a move that has bewildered many, he has now pivoted towards a potential rapprochement with the European Union, even entertaining the idea of joining the Pan-Euro-Mediterranean Convention. This is nothing short of a betrayal of the promises made to the electorate. It's an audacious gambit that not only jeopardizes Labour's credibility but also undermines the very sovereignty that millions voted to restore. Starmer's apparent willingness to cozy up to Brussels raises serious questions about his commitment to the values he once espoused. The implications of this flip-flop are profound. The Conservative Party has seized upon this moment, accusing Labour of capitulating to the EU and abandoning the working-class voters who feel betrayed. Dame Priti Patel's condemnation of Labour's actions as disgraceful is not merely rhetoric. It resonates with a public that craves authenticity and accountability from its leaders. How can Starmer expect to inspire trust when his party is seen as playing both sides, vacillating between respecting the democratic will of the people and pandering to business interests? The housing crisis is another front where Starmer's leadership has faltered dramatically. His recent proposal to limit legal challenges on infrastructure projects to a single attempt, while dressed up as a practical solution to expedite development, reeks of desperation. This is a blatant attempt to sidestep the genuine concerns of local communities and environmentalists, who are rightly alarmed by the potential ramifications of such a move. It's a classic case of attempting to appease developers while disregarding the voices of the very people Labour claims to represent. The Nature Restoration Fund, which many view as a mere smokescreen, exemplifies this attitude. Instead of conducting thorough environmental assessments, developers can simply pay into a fund and proceed with their projects. This is not progress. It's a reckless gamble that threatens to undermine the very fabric of our communities. Starmer's government can't even commit to its own ideas. Housing Minister Matthew Pennycook's statement that they are not seeking to participate in the Pan-Euro-Mediterranean arrangement only further illustrates Labour's indecision. What message does this send to voters? It's a chaotic dance that reeks of a party in disarray, desperately trying to hold on to power while failing to deliver coherent policies. The electorate is not blind to this confusion. Trust is eroding, and every flip-flop chips away at the foundations of Labour's credibility. If we turn our gaze towards Labour's economic strategy, the picture becomes even more troubling. The recent budget announcement has been a colossal failure, filled with unrealistic projections and a lack of fiscal responsibility. Rachel Reeves, tasked with steering Labour's economic ship, seems to be navigating towards a storm rather than safety. The public, feeling duped, is beginning to question whether Labour can be trusted with their financial future. The party's credibility is crumbling under the weight of its own miscalculations, and the consequences could be dire come election time. Internally, the discontent within Labour is palpable. Reports of secret meetings among MPs discussing Starmer's leadership reflect a party that is teetering on the brink of chaos. The narrative of unity that Labour once espoused is fading, replaced by whispers of dissent and potential leadership challenges. When party members start to lose faith in their leader, you know the situation is critical. Starmer's attempts to juggle conflicting demands have left him looking less like a leader and more like a juggler about to drop all the balls. The media's shift in tone towards Starmer is telling. Once lauded as a potential savior for Labour, he now faces scathing critiques that question his ability to lead effectively. The press, once enamored with his forensic approach, now depicts him as indecisive and disconnected from the needs of the public. This change in narrative is not merely a reflection of his policy failures but a warning sign that voters are losing patience with his leadership style. Starmer must grapple with the truth that every misstep compounds the challenges facing him. The slow-motion train wreck of his leadership is not just a series of unfortunate events, it is a testament to a lack of strategic vision. The mounting crises, from Brexit to housing and economic management, suggest that he is not equipped to steer Labour through these turbulent waters. As Labour's credibility slips further, the stakes for Starmer grow ever higher. He must ask himself if he is willing to reclaim his position as a leader who can make tough decisions and stand by his principles. The public is yearning for authenticity and accountability, traits that seem to have eluded him in recent months. The clock is ticking, and if Starmer hopes to salvage his political career and the future of the Labour Party, he must shed the indecision and embrace a decisive, principled approach. The time for half measures and equivocation has passed. It's time for leadership that inspires trust, confidence, and a clear vision for the future.